Hi everyone, welcome to my page. Today in Southeast Louisiana, it is like hot. We are in the up around 80, and as you can see, I went out and my rosacea just fired up all of the sudden. Don't know why, but yeah, I've got the rosacea thing going on. So before I do my makeup, I'm going to put on some sunscreen. Now this is a really cool sunscreen because it's tinted moisturizer, but it goes well as a base under Seint cream makeup. So let's just put some on here. I may have a little bit too much this time, but I am one of those that just slaps it on. So there you go. It does have a moisturizer in it. It's good stuff, and it really lays well with the cream makeup. But I am on fire. This rosacea is like, it is flared up. I just got my teeth cleaned. I'm like, gee, look how cool that is. It's nice to have a funk-free mouth for the next little bit until it gets gunked up again. You know, no matter how hard we try, seems like it always ends up with crud in our mouths. But yes, today was my 6-month cleaning. So yay, check that off the list of the beginning of the year things I have to do. You know, I have noticed too, if you have rosacea and you are having a flare-up, sometimes sunscreen is a good idea. It has kind of calmed down the stinging, because that's one of the parts that drives me crazy, is the stinging of the rosacea. So by putting this sunscreen on, I don't know why, but it helped. I do know, like I say, with it being 80 degrees outside already in Southeast Louisiana and the humidity being high, I need to put some type of sunscreen on. Plus, again, it's just going to help the rosacea. Sunscreen is like rosacea's best friend. So there you go. That's your tip Tuesday on a Wednesday. Better late than never, I guess. Hi, I'm Peggy. I'm your Seint 3D makeup artist, where we use one palette and one brush to do our entire face. This is our foundation. And it compiles of 3 shades. What makes this different from the others? It's cream, number 1. Number 2, we're using 3 shades and we're only going to have 1 layer of makeup on. We're not going to keep piling it on. Cream also doesn't settle into all these uglies that I have down here from just aging. I have mature skin. I am 68. So I have wrinkles, I have rosacea, I have crinkles, I have crepe skin, I have it all. Now, I like to look like me too, because I don't want to look like I have a mask on. That was great in my younger days, not now, not so much. So we're going to use these 3 shades, but the main thing is it's cream, so it's going to hydrate my face as I wear it. Number 2, it is also 1 layer, so it's not going to settle into these fine lines, wrinkles, and I'm not going to look pasty and cakey after an hour. Look at the glow that I already have from the sunscreen, and I also use very good skincare. So I already have like a little bit of a glow, but this is going to give you that natural, healthy looking glow that we had way back in the day, probably when we tried to make it look like we had a mask on. It's going to be me, only just a little bit better. So let's get started. These 3 shades were custom color matched to me, and it started with a contour shade. Now, what is contour? Contour is a dark shade. It's going to be a cooler shade, and it's going to give your face depth and definition. We're going to find it and put it on the hard parts because we're going to frame the face with it. So let's go to the cheekbone and just feel for where the roundness is, and we're just going to tap it right up that cheekbone. I have I don't know, some kind of dot there. I don't know exactly what that is, something I woke up with, but anyway, it is what it is. We're going to come over here and we're going to feel for the roundness of the cheekbone, start right at the corner of that eye, and just pat it up towards the top part of our ear. There we go. Now, we are going to lift these cheekbones, and we're going to lift this face and give us a more chiseled look. And again, we're going to do it using these 3 shades. Now we're going to start at the this jowl right here that I have and go right up, right along the jawbone to the bottom part of the ear. Again, we're going to do the same thing over here. This makeup is from Seint Beauty, and it is such good stuff. Like I say, the fact that it is cream, where has this been all my mature skin life? Now we're going to start right here at this divot, and we're going to go underneath my neck further than I normally would, further down. Why? Because I have a turkey neck. I just recently had a serious weight loss on purpose. So no, I'm not sick. Everything was fine. I needed to get these pounds off, and I did, but it left me with a turkey neck. And once we get into the mature skin, it's like you either have a turkey neck or you have a double chin. It is what it is. If you have the double chin, start just a little further back. See how I started with the divot? Start a little further back, about halfway, and come further down on the neck and up, and then blend, because that is going to create a shadow and make your double chin not quite as noticeable as it is normally. And that's what we're looking. We're looking to improve what we already have. Now, I took some contour on my pinky and I rubbed them together. We're going to put them so they touch and just drag them down the top of my nose. What we're doing here is we are contouring my nose. And why did I have them touching? Because I am dragging them down the center of my nose, and I am making it to where it goes into the natural shadow of my nose. It's going to make it look more elongated when we're done. Maybe not so right now, but when we're done. But it'll make it look more elongated, and it's also going to help it to appear just a little bit less wide, or it's going to narrow it. Let's put it that way. Now with contour, you get a lot of bang for your buck because you can fill in your eyebrows. You can use it as eyeshadow, and you can also line that bottom lip if you want a little more of a pouty look. So there's many uses for these 3 shades, but all 3 of these shades are going to make up my foundation. Now I am going to, they got a hair in here, yuck. Okay, well, I can't get it. We're just going to have to work around it. Okay, we're going to come to the lightest shade that is in my palette, and this is called a brightening highlight. Now, what do we use a brightening highlight for? Just that. We're going to brighten parts of our face that we want you to see. So I like to use the arches of my eyebrows and come right across, as this is going to be part of the focal point. Then we're going to drag it right down the center of my nose and the center of the forehead. Now, notice how coming down the center of my nose, all of a sudden it just appears more narrower and more elongated. That's what we want. There we go. Again, this is a brightening highlight. We're going to catch the Cupid's bow, and we're going to catch the center of the chin. So simple, so easy. Now let's come to the eyes. The eyes are the gateway, or the road to the center of your soul. No one has ugly eyes. What we're going to do, though, since I have crepe skin under these beautiful eyes, I am just going to come to the inner and outer corner. The inner corner, I'm going to drag it down the side of my nose just a little bit. Same thing over here. We're going to inner corner down the side of the nose just a little bit. A little bit of product goes a long, long way. Then we're going to come to the outer corner and just put a little bit of brightening there. Now, still my eyes look droopy, and at 68, I want everything lifted. So watch this trick. We're going to create a focal point by just brightening right up into the temple. There we go. Now look at the difference. I have my contour shade and I have my brightener. This eye goes up, this eye's still kind of droopy. Well, let's do the same thing over here. We're just going to create a focal point by going up into, there we go, right up into my temple. So simple, so easy. Now, if you have deep marionette lines or deep smile lines or whatever the technical term is, laugh lines, that's just a fold. That's all it is. It's just a fold, but it does create a shadow. So while we created shadows with our darker shade, with our lighter shade, we can take the shadow away. So you just want to put a little bit right into the corner of that fold, and what it'll do, mine are not terrible, so it doesn't really show, but some of us have it. Everybody has their flaw or their distraction that they don't like in one place or another. This just happens to be to where mine are there, but they're not terrible yet. Not to say they won't be in another year or two. So what we want to do is just brighten up in that shadow, make it bright so it's not as noticeable. And that's what we're doing. We're making you only a little bit better. Now we're going to move to my main highlight, and main highlight is just that. It's going to be the same color or the closest to the color of your natural skin. And we are just going to put a little bit where we don't have any other makeup. So kind of look at it as a filler shade. There we go, like in the bearded area, on the cheeks, right down here, a little bit here, a little bit there, and then we're going to come right up here. So you see how we have the three shades. We have my contour shade, we have my main highlight, and then we have the brightening highlight. There you go. Now, does this look ridiculous? Of course it does. Is this going to work in the end? Of course it is. Stick with me. Let me show you what we can do. Now, in your palette, starter palette, these three shades were custom color matched to me. So I did pick a Lip&Cheek. This Lip&Cheek is called Black Cherry. She is so pretty. Look at that. I love berry shades. It's kind of a red wine berry shade. And on the website, she looks black. She's not. She's this really pretty shade. Now, this is a lip and a cheek, so guess what? We have our brightening shade or our accent or our focal point to lift the eye. We have our contour, so we are just going to come right at the corner of the eye and just tap our blush right up, or our Lip&Cheek as we call it. You want everything high because, again, in your 60s, 70s, 80s, you want to lift. You don't want to drag the eye down. And what we're doing is we are creating focal points so when someone looks at us, we look our best. Okay, so here we go. Here is the brightening and the focal point. Here is the contour. So we're going to go right in between the two with our blush. I'm going to put just a little bit more. There you go. Everything I used is in this palette. What could be simpler? Now, this is cream makeup, so it does need to be set. How do you do that? Well, you can use a setting spray or you can use a setting powder. You can blend with a dry brush or you can blend and use your setting spray after. I like to blend with a damp brush. That's just me. I feel like it helps to spread it better to where I don't have to just really work too much to get it to blend. So here we go. We're going to just tap and make sure that there's nothing dripping. And I'm going to start at the corner of my ear and work my way down and around on my neck. Now, I am gently swirling and then I'm going to drag it down my neck. This is the only time you want to blend down, is when you're blending on the neck. Any other time you want to blend up. So there you go. That's done. And see, such little bit of product came on my face, and it's also very little product on my brush. So now we're just going to stipple. And by stippling, you're just gently pressing and tapping this makeup where you want it to go and where you want it to stay. Now, while this makeup has sat on my face, it has warmed to the temperature of my face, so it's really spreading beautifully and like butter. There we go. And again, like I was saying earlier when I first started, my rosacea is like, it has calmed down. The burning has calmed down so much since just when I went to the dentist. It's amazing. I went just barefaced to the dentist, and I could feel, because the temperature, like I say, we're in the 80s in southeast Louisiana, and I could just feel the burning and a starting of a flare up of my rosacea. But just putting a little bit of this BB cream, it's a moisturizer, it's a tinted moisturizer, really has helped. So that's just, like I say, a tip Tuesday on a Wednesday. There we go. Now, I'm going to continue blending, and again, I'm just tapping, okay, up the side of the nose, and then right up the center. Now, notice how I didn't spend a lot of time blending, because you just want a soft blend. You want to keep the shadow there, but you can blend it out if you blend too much. You want the shadow, you want the brightness, but you don't want distinct lines like what we have going on here. So it's just a soft blend. This is the 3D brush. I love this brush. I use it for just about everything. There we go. Just a little tap, and then I'm going to do just a soft swirl, just a gentle, barely touching my face, a soft swirl. Now let's come up and get this contour. Notice I didn't go all the way up with my contour on one side because I wear bangs, so. But you do want to blend it all the way up into the hairline. Now, you don't want to swipe like we were taught. That's the other thing. Sometimes you have to forget everything we were taught about makeup and blending, because you want a soft blend, not this harsh, and you don't want to blend it all together. You want to strategically blend it, because we did strategically place it to do a certain thing and to be lighter in one area than in the other, if that's how you want to keep it. So that's why be careful with your blending, because that you can blend it out, which is a good thing. If you make a mistake, you can blend it out, but you want to keep everything in its shade. Now we're going to come to the eyes, and I'm just going to tap again, just a simple tap from the focal point that we created in the temple to underneath the eyes. Now I'm going to flip my brush around and get good in the corner, and notice how I'm not pulling that skin under my eye. I am gently tapping, because we don't want a lot of product, and we don't want to stretch the eye. So with the crepe skin under there, you can see nothing is settling into it. The least amount of product went under there, so there'll be nothing to crease and nothing to settle into that crepe skin. Now the last thing we have left is our contour and our blush, our Lip&Cheek. And I honestly have hair going everywhere here. Now, I like to just stipple up and down on my contour twice. Why? I don't know. I just do. Then grab it and then stipple it up into, there we go, into the high temple or up above the cheekbone. See how we have a soft blend here? You don't want this. This is what we want. Now again, just a little bit of a stipple. Then grab it with the Lip&Cheek and just move it up into the temple. There we go. Guess what? I'm done. I am done. How long does it usually take me to do this? 5 minutes or less. You get to where you learn just where everything goes. You put it up there, you get it blended, and you're good to go. Now, as I'm looking at myself, I'm like, okay, I need some eyebrows. My eyebrows are permanent makeup. However, they do need to be redone. But why would I do that when I just tap into my contour shade and I just fill them in with my contour shade? Look at that. Look at that. So, like I said, you can literally do your entire face with with these 4 shades, or the 3 for sure. The fourth shade is a Lip&Cheek, and that is strictly your choice. If you don't like this berry shade, we have pinks, we have reds, we have oranges, we have browns. It would strictly be up to you what you chose. To me, this looks a lot better because I feel I need my eyebrows. Just to give it a blend, I'm just going to use the warmth of my finger. There you go. So simple, so easy. Technically, one brush and one palette did my entire face. Now, how do you get started with this beautiful makeup from Seint? That's really simple. I'm here to color match you. I was color matched to these 3 shades. You need to be color matched to the shades that would be be correct for your skin type. How do you do that? You send me a makeup-free selfie. It's just that simple. I'll have a number in the bottom here when I finish, and what you will, my brightening shade doesn't look blended. Okay, where do you think I need to blend? Thank you, Lydia. Where do you think I need to blend some more? Because it's hard for me to tell because I'm looking into an iPad, not a mirror. So just tell me where you think I need to blend it some more, and I'm happy to do that. I know around my eyes it never does look like I got it as good as it should. But anyway, it's the brightening shade is the one that we used up here and down the center of my face and across. Now, how do you get started with this? I have a telephone number. You will just send me #match. It will send you a link. You take your makeup-free selfie. How do you do that? Go to a window in your home that has natural light coming in. What you want to do is open your curtains and look outside of the window. Makeup-free, I know. That's the worst part. I promise you, you won't see your picture anywhere. I delete them after I color match you, so it's not going to be posted anywhere. So you look outside of your window, get your phone, look directly into your phone, and catch your makeup-free face, part of your neck, and your décolleté. And you send it to me. You upload it to that link, answer a couple of questions, and that's it. That's all there is to it. This color match is 100% free and no obligation whatsoever to buy. You don't need, thank you, Lydia. Yeah, there we go. You are under no obligation whatsoever to buy anything. This is strictly my gift from me to you. What if you get your makeup and you don't like it? 30-day money-back guarantee from Seint. You mail it back in, they send you your money back. So my question is, what do you have to lose? I thank you so much for the hearts, and I thank you so much for joining me today. I love to share the beauty of Seint cream makeup. And again, it's 3 shades and a Lip&Cheek to do your entire face. You be the reason someone smiles today, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much. Oh, Lydia, yes. Let me know when it comes in, and if we need to schedule a FaceTime session to be sure, that you have placement down, we can. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye.